like
chili
that.
con carne.
Absolutely fine. Or again, batch cook, perfect for that. So you've got the two handles on here, you can see all of that. So I've got a lovely curry. I'm just going to serve this one up in the bowl over here. So I'll bring it over.
I can't believe how much you get for your money. This is amazing.
It's absolutely incredible when you think about it. And again, as we said earlier, a trusted brand. We know Tefal very well. They are sort of, always developing new things to go into our kitchen and across the board, and they are just absolutely fabulous. So this is a pumpkin and chickpea curry, which has got some lentils through it as well. So lots of amazing flavours. And again, I'm using a metal utensil, and as long as you're doing that quite gently, it's absolutely fine. Obviously, we don't want to be putting something like a whisk in there, or don't try and eat your dinner out of the pan, which some people do try and sometimes save a bit of the washing up. So a little bit of fresh coriander over the top. And then I've got one more dish, which I'm just going to serve over this side while we're here. So again, another one. So a lot of people think about rice, but actually with the lid on, you can put your rice in here, you can steam it. So I put the right amount of water, let it steam through. It takes it all up, and then you end up with this beautiful rice, lovely and light and fluffy. You've got the peas in here. We've got some lovely spices and flavours. Absolutely perfect. And again, actually, I'm going to put it all in because then you can actually see again.
That lovely salmon with that.
Yeah. The salmon you've got with this. I mean, again, it just works even just as a dish on its own. And same thing again. Look, I can use that and just give it a little wipe. Put the little leftover bits in there.
It's just every pan that you need is in this box, isn't it?
Everything is in there. Yeah. So look, same thing again. Exactly the same.
Brilliant.
And I mean, these are all dishes that we've cooked from scratch, so they're all done. It's just fantastic. We think, right, I'm going to turn that over. Now you've got that lovely colour again on the steak. We're going to take that rest. But as I mentioned earlier, you can put a little bit of fat in just to give it a little bit of extra colour. So I always do a little bit of butter. And this is just my own preference.
You don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need it, but this is just me, just to get that extra bit of richness to the dish. So again, I'm just glazing that butter in, and the steak will just move around. Look at that into the fat. And this is really a bit of a chef thing. We just tend to do that just to get a lovely glaze on the piece of meat or the protein that we're cooking. I'm going to let that sit for a second. I'm going to pop a bit of broccoli in here to go with the salmon. So I'm just going to put that in the same pan, let that cook over down there. And then I just very simply, that little bit of butter, just glaze that over the top of the steak. Look at that. I'm going to take that out and let that rest. Now,
what would you serve with that?
The steak? I'm going to do an egg. I'm going to do steak and eggs.
Lovely.
A little fried egg in there. So I'm going to let that rest just for a little minute. And again, with this one, I can just pour some of that butter out. And then same thing applies, just very simply, look, just get straight in there. And that's obviously had butter in. It's had all of that fat. Look at it. Oh.
Not a thing has stuck to it.
No, not a thing has stuck to it. I wouldn't necessarily always recommend doing it with hot pan. I've got chef's hands. But there you go. Look, that's straight onto the hob. And you can see how clean that is now.
How brilliant that you can try them as well. I mean, that's the thing about QVC. You get these home. You can cook whatever you like for 60 days on them. Yeah. You can gift it as well. They can cook what they like on it. If they're not absolutely delighted, if you're not absolutely delighted, you can send it back. But what you can't do is get this price if you're shopping after midnight tonight, or if the stock goes, and we're not far off 3/4 of the day's stock gone already, now is the time to buy it.
Sorry, I'm just jumping over you here just to get that salmon in. Look at that. Straight in there. Let it on the lean so you can see that.
And then delicious.
Same thing, pan obviously again in there. I've got a little bit of olive oil just to finish that off. And then a few little toasted almonds over the top of that. And then we're going to do a very quick little stir fry and a little egg in here as well.
I just love how there is a pan for absolutely everything.
Absolutely everything. It's all there. So that's on. We've done the meat in that one, but I've given it a bit of a clean out. So then you can just get your eggs in here. Look, straight in. Straight in the centre. Again, it's still got that lovely heat on it.
Without any oil?
Without any oil. So no oil in this at all. Straight into the non-stick. Again, you can add oil. And oil is really just for adding that extra bit of flavour if you want to. But not essential. You don't need to do that. And then in terms of the wok, nice and hot, ready to go. I am adding a bit of oil, obviously, because I've got a bit of oil and sesame oil just to get that frying down.
I like that it's a wok with a flat bottom, so it's not kind of moving down.
And it's a good thick-based wok, so it keeps all of that lovely heat. So I'm going a bit seasonal. I've got some white cabbage, I've got some carrots, I've got some sprouts, because they're great in a little stir-fry. And then we can start to bring all of that together. Look.
Warming in more sense
than one. Look at that. Coming in together now. Oh, the chilli. That's where the chilli starts to kick in.
See, imagine that when you're on your healthy regime in the new year. A lot of us go into our healthy eating penance for all of the indulgences of